Hello plant people, how are you guys doing today? If you're new around here, my name is Ashley and I'm a soil scientist. On this channel I like to take that science and apply it to all things plants. And in today's video we're going to be looking at specifically seed trays. So if you didn't catch the first video where we talked about different types of seed starting mixes, what we're looking for in a seed starting mix, and the properties we want in a seed starting mix, then be sure to check out that video. Today we're focusing mostly on the tray types. What tray do you buy and why does it matter? So I change every year what I'm using, but for the most part there are some very common themes in what I do. The first and the most common theme that I've used for years now is the Jiffy mini greenhouse, I guess they call it, which is the tiny little cell blocks. I find these to be perfect. I like the peat moss mixture in here. Watch the video to find out why that is, but I enjoy this setup quite thoroughly, and this is honestly my number one for germinating pretty much any vegetable crop for sure. Not necessarily flowers, but vegetable crop, absolutely. You can get these in larger sizes as well. So you can get larger size discs that are honestly probably big enough to bring you all the way to springtime when you're transplanting outdoors. My second favorite is this plain old tray. I bought this one at Peat Mart. It doesn't have any holes in it and it is a thicker plastic. So if you one hand lift this, it's not going to snap. So you can reuse these every year. All this stuff you can reuse every year. But what I like about this is I actually enjoy using this for germinating flowers. And what I like to do is fill up the bottom of this container with pure vermiculite, no potting soil. I then will take it and I will put it on a heating mat because the seeds usually for flowers will germinate a lot better if there's a base heat exertion onto the container. The vermiculite combined with this container makes for a very even distribution of the heat and results in some really nice germination. If you're picky and you're not planting a ton of flowers, you can get this, but with tiny little canals in it. I have them outside in a shed where the door is literally frozen shut on right now. I was, honest to goodness, I was going to bring them out for this video and then I went to go open the shed and it's frozen. We've had this crazy irritating winter where we get a ton of snow, a big blizzard, and then it all melts. Well, not all of it, but quite a bit of it melts, and then it comes again, and then it melts. And so now anything that's metal and shed-like outside is completely frozen in place. So I can't even get into my shed where all my trays are in. But I will try to insert a photo of what that looks like. They are tiny little canals. That will help you differentiate between the different types of seeds or different types of plants that you grow. You will have to transplant these eventually, but the combination of the vermiculite and this really nice open area means that there's going to be very little stress on the actual roots of the plant, and therefore transplanting is going to go very, very well. There are other ones you can get with the tiny little cells, so they're very micro mini. I'll insert a photo here. I do not use those, mostly because I don't see the purpose in it. You can very easily plant flowers and very tiny seedlings all together in a row, and then just with your finger or with the transplant sticks, you can very gently tweeze it out without interfering with the roots. If you have like a valuable seed or you absolutely want perfect germination and really smooth transplant, then you can get the tiny celled ones. If you choose to use vermiculite in those really itsy bitsy cell ones, please watch it carefully. Vermiculite does dry out much faster than straight peat moss does. If you're using vermiculite in those cells, that you do run the risk of your evaporation and your water usage rates being higher than what you can add within reason. So that case, you may want to use a peat moss mix with some vermiculite in it. But again, I find peat moss doesn't have a uniform heat distribution, and if you're looking for even germination, then maybe not the best choice. Another one is just the regular old cells, and these you would fill up with your seed starting mix, and what you're looking for in this is actually depth. So they make hexagonal ones that they say are better. It really doesn't matter, and you can reuse these, but you're looking for depth because we want a root formation that's nice and deep, not too wide, and this works great. What I would start in these would be plants that you don't need heat on because of the depth of the soil system. Heat won't evenly be distributed onto this seed. So I would use it for something that transplants well, isn't transplant sensitive, and isn't a super tiny seed. You could do tomatoes and peppers. That may take longer to germinate in a cell like this just because of the depth of the cell, but you could use tomatoes or peppers. The germination may just take a little bit longer. I typically start my tomatoes and peppers in those pods just because they like a little bit of heat. But for something like peas or lettuce or any sort of brassica, cabbage, something like that would do great or does great in a setup just like this. And then the last one that I don't have by me for whatever reason, there's somewhere, I literally just bought it, but the other one to look at is actually the peat cups. And this would strictly be used for, we could use it for anything, but I would mostly use these for plants that do not transplant well. And the reason for that is because you can then take those cups and place them directly in the soil to reduce the transplant shock. This would work for things like squash, cucumbers, melons, anything that doesn't transplant good. This is the exact scenario that you would use these in. That is all I have for you on seed starting trays. Let me know in the comments below if you have any odd trays that you like to use or that you find work best in your case. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out the link down below. In that link, I have the start times for every single gardener based on your zone. So it is a free download that you guys can fill in. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.